Hello everybody and welcome to Political Bite number 184, dated February 14th, 2021. I'm Walter, your mobile historian and blue-collar scholar. This Political Bite is entitled Thoughts on Donald Trump's Second Impeachment. On February 13th, 2021, former President Donald Trump was formally acquitted of the one article of impeachment that had been levied against him by the House of Representatives in January. That article of impeachment being incitement of insurrection, a charge directly related to the events of January 6th, 2021. The exact extent of his role in perhaps initiating this attack on the Capitol by the MAGA terrorists may never be fully known. What is known, however, is that he did indeed play a role, a very crucial role, in it occurring. The United States Senate, by a vote of 57 to 43, voted for Trump's guilt. However, 57 votes was not enough to formally convict. 10 more senators would have had to vote in favor of his conviction. As you already know, the Constitution requires a 2/3 majority, and therefore a 2/3 majority of 100 sitting senators would have been 67. So 10 more U.S. senators would have been needed to carry the day. Thus, even though more senators voted that he was guilty than not guilty, that wasn't enough. 57 senators voted guilty. 43 voted not guilty. Of the 57 senators who voted guilty, 7 were members of the Republican Party, thus crossing party lines to vote to convict a former president of their own party. These bold and very courageous U.S. senators, were none other than Richard Burr of Arizona, Bill Cassidy of Louisiana, Susan Collins of Maine, Lisa Murkowski of Alaska, Mitt Romney of Utah, Ben Sasse of Nebraska, and Pat Toomey of Pennsylvania. Several of these senators are retiring, But Senator Murkowski is the most vulnerable of this lot, as she goes up for re-election next year, and arguably her vote may be the most politically courageous one of the lot. Arguably, no. Her vote was the most politically courageous one of the lot. I thank all 7 members of the Republican Party who crossed party lines to vote for the conviction of former President Trump. These 7 Republicans did the right thing. They put country before party. They put reality before superficiality. They put the future of our republic before the future of party politics. And to you, the Magnificent 7, I say thank you very much for your courage, especially you, Senator Murkowski of Alaska. To the other 43 members of the Republican Party who voted to acquit President Trump, you have done a great disservice, not only to the Senate as an institution, but to yourselves, as well as this nation. In voting to acquit former President Trump, you have actively sent a message that it is perfectly acceptable for an outgoing American president to encourage the undermining of our democratic institutions. You should all be ashamed of yourselves. And quite frankly, the people who elected you to office should be ashamed of themselves for once more electing you to office. You have done nothing whatsoever but encourage the undermining of our democratic structure by voting for the acquittal of former President Trump. And you have brought disgrace upon the Senate, yourselves, and this nation in doing so. The 7 members of the Republican Party who crossed party lines to do the right thing were willing to sacrifice if they were making a sacrifice. In any case, those who truly were had the courage, had the stones, man or woman, believe me, had the stones to do the right thing. And for the 43 members of the Republican Party who didn't, all I can say is I hope that you somehow can resonate it with your conscience and knowing your role in helping to undermine our democratic structure by being complicit in the events of, by being rather not being complicit, but rather by giving a full pardon to the former president's role in what happened on January the 6th. All right. The American people, quite honestly, will take note of this. And all I can say is that I strongly hope that the American people in the states of the 43 Republican U.S. senators who voted against the conviction of Donald Trump, all I can say is that I hope the people come to their senses and vote each and every one of you out of office, as you are weak and, for all intents and purposes, useless politicians who think only of party and not of country. The Constitution provides a perfectly well-oiled machine capable of dealing with the events that happened on January the 6th, when a former president actively encourages it, which is what happened. And to the 43 Republican senators who voted not guilty, you are effectively throwing away the Senate's power as an institution to hold an outgoing president accountable. He was impeached before he left office, and by the Senate's own majority leader. His decision alone resulted in the trial happening after the president left office. So Mitch McConnell's argument that he could not vote to convict Trump because the trial happened after Trump left office is BS. Senator McConnell is the one who directed the trial to happen after President Trump left office. So you are the reason that the trial happened after Trump left. And yet you, by your own logic, said you couldn't vote to convict Trump because the trial happened after he left office. Because of something you did. The trial could have happened before Trump left office. So that argument is total malarkey. And I'm very glad that Speaker Pelosi called him out on that. Because if that's all it was about was the fact that the trial happened after Trump left office, Senator McConnell could have easily made sure that that was not the case and had the trial before President Trump left office. But it wasn't. He waited strategically until President Trump had left office to have the trial, so he could willfully declare the innocence of President Trump in spite of constantly condemning him for his role on the January 6th MAGA attack on the Capitol. So you see, from what I gather from all of this, folks, is that Republican Party politics employs circular reasoning. All right. I'm going to declare I'm not going to hold the trial until after Trump leaves office. Then I'm going to hold the trial after Trump leaves office, and then declare that I can't vote for his guilt because the trial happened after Trump left office. If you can find a way to make that make any sense, look me up, because to me it makes absolutely none. But that's Republican Party politics for you. And like I said, each and every single member of the Republican Party that voted for the acquittal of Donald Trump should be ashamed of themselves, because you, the whole lot of you, put party before country, and it is disgraceful. And the people who elect all of you to office, it says a lot about them. Thankfully, I put country before party. Okay? This doesn't have a party. This is country. All right? And were I a member of the United States Senate, I most certainly would have voted to convict former President Trump of the one article of impeachment known as incitement of insurrection. Thank you so much for listening to my perspective on this subject. If you have any questions or controversies, just leave them down below, and I'll be happy to answer them. All right. If you have not subscribed to my YouTube channel, please do so now. I would appreciate it if you did. Just hit that little red subscribe button and that little bell, and we will be in business. Again, thank you. Thank you so much for listening to my perspective. I'm truly passionate about this. And, again, it's just very discouraging and disheartening to see, the upper house of our national legislature give a free pass to such a terrible act committed against it. All right. So in any case, thanks again for listening. Take care. Stay safe out there. And I'll talk to you at the next bite. Peace.